Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We're here at the Emergency Operations Centre for the City of Calgary's latest update on the 16th Avenue water main break update. Today we will be joined by Calgary Mayor Jyoti Gondek, Calgary Emergency Management Agency Chief Sue Henry, Capital Priorities and Investments Director Francois Bouchard, and Water Services Director Nancy McKay. Pardon me. We'll hear their updates and then we'll take your questions after. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Oki Ambawastich Dada Nastada Tansei, and good afternoon, everybody. With the feeder main break that occurred last Wednesday, we have been in a situation where water from our Bearspaw treatment plant has not been able to flow through the largest distribution pipe in our system. Half of the city's water supply is unable to get around as it typically does. As a result of the break, we have also been able to examine the state of the feeder main on either side of the section that must be repaired. And this examination has involved sending a robot into the pipe to check for any irregularities. The water team has now had a chance to analyze the information that has been collected by the robot, and I can confirm that there are 5 further locations that require repair while we have the water turned off and the pipe is exposed. While this will delay the length of time for repair and restoration of water service, and I know that means asking all of us to keep our water use lower than usual, it also means that we have identified potential issues that could have led to another unexpected break, and we're moving very quickly to address these issues. Chief Henry and Director Bouchard will provide more detail on what has been identified, and Director McKay will talk about how water will be managed during this time. With that, I will turn it over to Calgary Emergency Management Agency Chief Sue Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. Since the late hours of June 5th, we've been sharing the process of discovering, analyzing and repairing the length of pipe under 16th Avenue Northwest. Today, we have more information, and while it's not the news we hope to be sharing, we are sharing the situation as quickly and as transparently as possible with you. While we expect to have more information on the why, we can tell you today some key information has emerged that indicates there are some additional sections of the pipe that need to be repaired. While the information we received from our crew's robotic inspection, our experts say this is the most dramatic and traumatic break of the feeder main they have ever seen. This pipe is only at the halfway point in its life cycle. From all accounts, this should not have happened, but it did. We are still working to understand the why. But now today, we have to focus on how to continue to function while we begin the long-term plan to repair the pipe. We know we can fix the length where the current break is. We know that the pipe is not safe to bring into service without these repairs. Our number one priority is always safety, and that needs to stay our number one priority throughout this event. Simply put, we cannot take the chance of further pipe breaks on the long-term sustainability of this pipe. After the past 7 days, we've been reminded of the critical role this feeder main plays in delivering Calgary's water to not only our own city, but to our neighboring cities like Airdrie, the Tsuut'ina Nation, Strathmore, Chestermere, and others. We do not want to be back in the same situation where we are today. Our only choice is to stay the course with our current water restrictions for 3 to 5 weeks longer and do these critical repairs now. We need to double down and get this job done. We are looking at strategies to do these repairs simultaneously and exploring everything we can do to do this faster, and we hope to revise this timeline. We absolutely understand that the speed of this is the essence, but we are balancing the availability of resources, the availability of materials, and the safety of our team to get this done as fast and as safely as possible. I'm not going to understate the realities of what this means. For one, we know that summer means events. It means hotter temperatures, outdoor plant life, recreation, in addition to all of the public safety needs and medical needs. It will take an adjustment for all of this to manage this over the longer period. Secondly, the Glenmore treatment plant has been carrying a massive load trying to supply water to the rest of Calgary without the help of the Bearspaw treatment plant. This means there is more risk for Glenmore. We have begun preparations to bring in as many redundant parts and to put personnel and equipment on standby to make sure that we're in a position to address any issues quickly and keep the water supply that we currently have. We essentially want to bubble wrap that Glenmore treatment plant so we keep it safe, protected as possible, knowing the heavy need that we are placing on it and will continue to place on it. We know you want to get back to the routines that you're used to. We will be coming up with detailed plans and instructions so that we can all have some services, even if it's not the same time or the same kind that you are normally used to. Undoubtedly, you will have questions, and we are working around the clock to get you answers to those questions. Now that this is going to impact us for a little longer, we will be talking to some categories of business to address their water use. We cannot expect residents alone to be in this situation, and our outreach teams have been in touch with more than 7,000 customers to reduce their water use. Many have and continue to step up in their operations, but if education doesn't work, we will be more directly addressing this in the days to come. Based on what we are hearing and the information we have now, the best decision in an unexpected and difficult time is to complete these repairs and delay the charging of the existing pipe. What I can tell you is the round-the-clock work from our teams, the thorough inspection in very complex conditions, and the options to move forward. All of these decisions were not casually done. This decision was not made lightly. Calgary's water infrastructure is industry leading, and it's only because of the incredible and skilled work of our water operators managing the water system so carefully that we continue to have enough water. So I'd like to thank them for this tremendous effort. One last thought. At this podium, I'm often here with you to talk about a struggle. Sometimes that struggle is about a weather event. Sometimes that struggle is about a disease. This week, we've all been uniting against an unexpected, unpredictable infrastructure failure. The minute you reduced your water usage, you joined us in that fight. We have it in us to continue that fight to reduce water until we can finish this critical job. This is the true definition of short-term pain for long-term gain. We need to get back this feeder main where we can count on it. And when we come back, we want it to come back the right way and come back safely. I know it's hard, and I know you've already given up a lot, and the thought of 3 to 5 more weeks is almost unbearable. Please know we're thinking about how this will impact all of us, but we cannot take chances where life safety is concerned. I'm confident that if we can all be patient and work together, we will get back to life as normal. We are in this together, and with that, I will pass to Director Bouchard.
Good afternoon. We have determined that a significant contributing factor of the feeder main break was the breakage of pre-stressed steel wires. When these wires break in multiple places, it weakens the pipe and can lead to a catastrophic failure as we are experiencing. As shown in these pictures, the wires are coiled within an inner layer of concrete pipe. The feeder main is constructed with pipe segments that are 16 feet, and the steel wire wraps approximately 350 times like a slinky around each pipe segment. This wire provides important structural stability for the pipe to help it manage high water pressures. As the pipe ages, it's normal for some of the wires to break without compromising the integrity of the pipe. However, it becomes problematic as the number of breaks increases. So far, we have inspected 4.3 kilometers of pipe to see if there are any other issues. We have now received the data that has helped us to get a clear picture of what we're dealing with. We have discovered 5 hotspots where significant wire breakage has occurred and require critical and urgent repair. The location of these 5 hotspots are southeast of the current break before the Shaganapie pump station. This station is located in North Edworthy Park at the bottom of Shaganapie Trail. As we saw in our current break, when the wires break in multiple places, it weakens the pipe and can lead to a catastrophic pipe failure. The degree of breakage we're seeing in these sections of pipe require emergency repair. Our decision is that we repair these locations as quickly and safely and as effectively as we can. Our team of internal and external engineers have been working hard to determine solutions to this problem. The repairs will consist of a variety of technologies, including full pipe segment replacement and external reinforcements of pipe segments. Our assessment shows the hotspots cannot safely withstand the amount of pressure we need to run through the feeder main. This means that if we were to complete current repairs and restore the water feeder main now, it would be at high risk of additional catastrophic breaks. The risk is simply too high. We need to act immediately to ensure long-term sustainability. Our next steps is that we have an additional 300 meters of pipe that still had water and didn't allow us to complete the inspection. We are committed to, we are draining it now and checking to see if there are any additional hotspots that will also need to be fixed immediately. We are working with partners across North America to source parts we need for an immediate repair. We are committed to getting this done as fast as possible while working safely and protecting public health. We will be working around the clock to finish this work and restore normal water service, but it will take time. Our initial estimates are that the work will take 3 to 5 weeks to complete. We're actively looking at ways to speed the work up, but not at the risk of public health or the quality of work. We'll have more information over the next few days as our plans are finalized. What does this mean is that we can't run water through the Bearspaw South feeder main while the hot spots are being repaired. This means that we'll continue to mainly rely on water from the Glenmore water treatment plant to supply Calgary and surrounding communities until the repairs are complete. We need to ask everyone to continue to avoid using city water for outdoor uses and to keep conserving indoor water use until the repairs are complete. We know this is hard, and we know it's a big ask of you. The expertise of our internal and external engineers, along with our colleagues in water services operating the system, have delivered an excellent analysis. This is the best solution to ensure the sustainability and safety of our city's water supply. And with that, I'll invite Nancy Mackay to the podium.
Thank you, Director Bouchard. As you've just learned, this is a very challenging situation. I'd like to talk about the continuing work that the Water Services team is doing to provide the safe drinking water to Calgary and surrounding communities while the repair work is completed for the Bearspaw South feeder main. As you can see in the graphic here, in normal times, water flow from both the Bearspaw and Glenmore water treatment plants flows along a network of pipes and underground towards underground treated reservoirs that are located throughout our city to ensure you have the water that you need. The Bearspaw South feeder main is a very important part of our network. Approximately 60% of our water comes from the Bearspaw water treatment plant, and most of that flows through this pipe in normal circumstances. Since it has been out of service, we've not been able to transport most of the water to Bearspaw treatment plant the way it usually flows. Instead, we've been running the Glenmore water plant at its maximum capacity and rerouting the underground system of pipes as much as water as we can get through the city. Today's decision means we need to continue to rely heavily on the Glenmore water treatment plant for our supply of water until all the repairs to the Bearspaw South feeder main can be completed. This allows us for approximately 400 million or megaliters of water to the city each day, as we have been living with for the last week. In order to keep the Glenmore plant operating at its highest capacity, we will be making sure to follow careful processes, closely monitoring the performance, continuing careful ongoing maintenance that we do each and every day, and making sure that we have the additional staff, if need be, available to ensure that. We are doing our part to produce as much water to meet demand as we can, but we need to ask for your help. Stage 4 outdoor watering restrictions remain in place until the feeder main is back in operations. This means that you cannot use water for outdoor purposes. We are also looking to ask you to do your part, as you have been for the last week, to conserve water indoors in any way that you can. We have seen excellent cooperation from Calgarians and businesses to reduce their water use. The next few weeks will be critical for us. Over the past several days, we've been working with our large industrial commercial customers to ask them to do whatever they can to reduce water. By and large, we've received excellent cooperation with many businesses changing their processes and taking extra steps to save all the water that they can. However, there have been questions about whether we need to implement tougher restrictions on certain water-using industries. With today's situation, we are now contacting some customers to ask them to stop some operations and some activities. If we need to, the city has the ability to turn off water to a business if they are not complying with that ask. This would be a last resort and one we are prepared to take if need be. The residents of Calgary and the surrounding area, I need to ask once again to hang in there with us. Help us keep our water demand below what is currently able to be supplied. Over the last week, I think we have another graphic here. Certainly over the last week, we've been working collectively to reduce water use by 25%. That benchmark is really important for us. We've been reminding you of different tips over the past several days. Not flushing as much unless you really need to. That really does make a difference and adds up. I recognize that many of you have been waiting to do laundry. And now might be the point when you absolutely need to. I get it. When you do, I ask, you only run a full load and reduce the number of loads. What is truly essential for you in the next week and your family to do? Really have a look at that and pull out only the essential items. Different families, re-wearing clothes, reusing towels as much as you can. Every load of laundry you skip per week averages out to 10 liters saved per household, and I can tell you that adds up across the city. Really, really lean in. If you and your family if you have family or friends in a community that doesn't use city water, you can visit them certainly to do laundry as well. I've asked my team to develop additional tips and strategies. Many of those are coming in for many of you as well. In the coming days, we will continue to provide you more details and tips of things you can do. We have an exceptional team, I want you to know, working to solve the problem and help us get back to something different that we're used to as quickly as we can and safely as we can. With your help, we can do this together. Thank you so very much. Now with that, I'll turn it back to the mayor.
So as we move forward, you need to know that in addition to the 24/7 work that's being done, the round-the-clock repairs that are being done, we are engaging additional contractors to make sure they can assist us with the additional repairs that need to be done. And that work will be done concurrently. You will start to see more crews moving in. You will start to see more areas getting prepped for repair work, and you will start to see more changes to traffic patterns. The details on repairs and traffic interruptions will come to you as we have more information available. Please make sure you stay engaged with us as we continue to bring you regular updates at 8:30 in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon each day. And we will also ensure that we call any special press conferences that we need for updates as they become available. And I'm going to leave you with two important messages. I know that you've been doing everything you can to curb your water usage in the last 9 days, and I very much appreciate you for that. I know it hasn't been easy, and I know you're growing tired of me asking you to please do more and to do it for a little bit longer. And I trust you know that I wouldn't be asking you for this if I didn't believe that the security of our water supply depends on it. Thank you sincerely for all of your efforts. And it's imperative that we support and accommodate the teams that will be needed to conduct the big work that's coming up in the coming weeks. You will face traffic disruptions as well as the continued inconveniences of limiting your indoor water use and the restrictions on outdoor water use. Please know that your patience is appreciated, your frustrations are understood, and your willingness to do your part is the thing that will get us back to water restoration for the entire city. We really value all of your contributions. With that, I will turn it over to Sherry to field questions, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Questions?
We're talking about a few weeks, 3 to 5 or maybe more, depends on the condition of the pipe. That's big news. We have a big event coming in Calgary in a few weeks. Are we thinking of maybe putting restriction on that event? Is that going to change the Stampede?
The Calgary Stampede is one of our agency members, and their teams are downstairs as we speak, working on contingency plans and helping understand this news. They just received the same news today, so it's too early to project what will occur.
Thank you, Chief.
And do you have a follow-up? Just a follow-up maybe for Mr. Bouchard on the, so just to be clear, of the 11 kilometers, 4.3 kilometers were inspected. So we don't know the state of the remaining kilometers, but they could be many more damaged.
There could be other locations that need to be addressed. The reason that we're not doing more than the 4.3 kilometers is that the technology that we're using requires us to drain the pipe. So we have a drain pipe that we can do that work. We're currently working on an inspection plan that we will be rolling out after we repair the pipe. Our primary focus right now is getting those repairs done. Once the system is back in operation, we will deploy our program of inspections to look at the condition of the pipes.
Sorry if this is a little bit repetitive, but like if you were to find more problems with the pipe that has the water in it, could that add to the timeline or is that?
So in terms of the timelines, it would not add to the timelines in terms of putting the section of pipe that we've drained back into service. The only section that we're looking at right now in terms of inspections is the remaining 300 meters that still had water. And unfortunately, that the robot can't operate when there's water in the pipe. So we'll know a little bit more in the next day or so because we're collecting the data right now. Once we have the data, we need to analyze it to identify whether or not there's additional locations. But our strategy is to do concurrent repairs as much as possible. And therefore, if we did identify additional locations, then it would become part of that package that we're trying to deliver.
Follow? Good. Jenny?
You mentioned you're sourcing materials and different pipes. What kind of delay are they looking at? Do you know if they're readily available or how long until they get here?
So it's very early for us to say when we'll be able to get those pipe sizes into Calgary. These are not off the shelf. We always have some pipes sitting on the shelf. We had our critical parts inventory with some of it. And what we're finding is that we need more than what our inventory allows. So we're reaching out to other utilities around North America. There are also solutions because the pipe hasn't actually failed. Therefore, it's still structurally sound. Sorry, there might be an issue with it, but it still hasn't collapsed. And therefore, we can use other technologies like strapping the pipe down using different technologies to provide that structural integrity that's needed before the pipe can be repressurized.
So even if you're able to get the pipe, there still could be delays just because of the delivery, because it's such an unusual.
So we factored in our ability to bring the pipe materials or other materials that we need within the estimate that we have of 3 to 5 weeks. That's been factored in.
Any other questions? All right, folks, that's it. Please join us tomorrow. We'll send an advisory. Thank you.